Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Rel, and today I'm just going to review one by special request. So Gary, this one is for you. But I was asked if I had this kit, and if I did, would I review it? So sure, why not? This is the 63 Dodge 330 two-door sedan from Model Car World. Right here. You build it stock or drag. I pretty much picked the stock ones. I don't think these prices are valid anymore, so check the website and check availability. As I did buy this a number of years ago, and I had planned on making it a max wedge 426 max wedge car with and the recommended donor is this car right here, is the Color Me Gone version of this one. If you're shopping for any of these Lindbergh kits, they're really similar, but not all issues are the same. Notice it says Super Sport. That's not correct. It should say Super Stock, but they did fix that in later issues. But they have different engines in them. So this one and the Maverick both have the 426 Max Wedge, and then the other one, the Ram Chargers version, actually has the Hemi in it and different scoop, and the grill's a little different. So there are a few changes or differences between the different donor kits. But I got the donor kit out. But let's pull this out and see what you buy when you get this kit. And I did do some work to this kit. It's not exactly how they issue it. They do give you these decals right here, if you can see them. Let me see if I can. It's just the Dodge and the 330 emblems that go on the body. And then you get a lot of parts, so there's not a whole lot you need. And you get directions here. This is your standard how to use resin, sand it, bleach white, just all the regular directions. And then they also give you, here's these directions, what you're planning to do. If you're going to do a stock one, use a Lindbergh Dodge 330 or 64 Plymouth hardtop for a V8 or slant 6 engine. You can use a Polar Lights kit as well for the 383. If you want to do a stock Stage 3 426 using the Polar Lights engine, super stock slicks, hood scoop. The stock wheels and hubcaps from the 64 Dodge 330 are included in this and ready to go. And the drag version says use the Color Me Gone for the Stage 3 engine. Wheels, tires, and hood scoop and other drag parts on the Polar Lights could be used. MCW offers fender well headers for the Max Wedge. Go over here, and then they also offer the decals, which I didn't buy the decals. I just got the stock ones because I'm going to do this one as a Max Wedge. So here's the body that you get. It's a pretty thick body. Mine's got some marks on the roof from the mold that I need to clean up, and it's dipped a little bit in the middle here, so I have to work with that. And but it's fairly close to, I believe this is a Johan kit that they basically copied and modified a few of the parts. And then the headlights are molded in here, which I kind of wish they weren't so I can chrome them, but they are. That's how they're molded in. And the body's pretty thick, pretty smooth, for the most part. Ready to go. It's got a little bit of twist on mine. I don't know if that's from storage, but I've had it a long time and really haven't done any cleanup to this one. But that's the body here. Now you also get interior tub with the bench seat, and it's been modified a little bit. So, and you also get the chassis plate with the molded in exhaust, which for my use isn't really accurate for a Max Wedge, but I haven't decided if I'm going to modify this or what I'm going to do with it. And then you also get, here's the ton of other parts. The core support for the radiator, 2 hoods, of course one with holes, one without, and then the steering wheel, the dashboard, which is pretty nice. Firewall, and they include the radiator and the battery, so it's pretty complete. And this is a pretty good sized battery too, pretty accurate for what they had back then. Taillights, which have not been chromed, and I actually took them away from the bumper. I believe they were molded to the bumper, but I removed them. And then I just have quarter windows also from the Lindbergh kit. It comes with the vacuum formed windows right here. These are actually pretty nice. Some of them aren't vacuum formed really well. These ones are vacuum formed really nicely. But it didn't come with quarter windows. But the donor kit comes with the quarter windows that you can use. And you also get the Max Wedge hood scoop, which is also in the donor kit. Here's the other window. I was wondering where that was. And then the 4 stock wheels. There's 2 fronts and then 2 rears. Alright. And then the other things, it doesn't come with the parts chrome plated, but so I had already cleaned these up and made sure they fit the body and then had them chrome plated. Here's the rear bumper, and you can see where I had removed the taillights from it. But there's the rear bumper. I made sure it fits, and Chrome Tech Bob chromed these for me a while ago. And here's the front bumper, chromed and ready to go. These did require a little bit of cleanup from MCW, but really not too bad, than just making sure that they had fit the body. But with the Multi-Low pen, I think it'd be easier to chrome these. I was going to foil them and everything, and I think I still am going to foil the headlights. And I've done it in multiple pieces because it's hard to do it in one piece. But I think I'll foil the whole outside of the headlight, then a separate piece of foil on the inside of the headlight. Or I could even drill them out, or even possibly cut them off. But I don't think I want to go to that extreme on this particular one. And then here are the 4 stock hubcaps that go on these wheels. But so it's really not missing a whole lot. You got pretty much everything except for like an inside rearview mirror, hoses, the engine, the entire engine and tranny, and then your wheels and tires if you want to use the wheels and tires. You know, you got some of the parts from the donor kit as well. Here's the drag tires that come in it. And I'll probably end up using these because I'll do it as, I think I'm going to build it more as a sleeper. I'm not sure what wheels I'm going to use, as the Lindbergh kit comes with wheels. But like here's some of the Max Wedge parts. There's the intake, the hood hinges, armrests, the stock air cleaner, so you can do more of the stock version. And then there's the headers, which are pretty nice. And some of the chassis parts, which you're really not going to use any of this. You probably could. Then there's the Max Wedge heads and the engine, automatic tranny, and the hoses and stuff. You can use a lot of those parts. And then there's the chassis and suspension, the steel wheels that fit those. Although I think these ones are nicer, but they're smaller, so they may not work with the wheels, or maybe find some other tires that'll work. The firewall and the chassis from the Lindbergh kit is way bigger. So this does not fit the body. You see how narrow the two are. So they're really not going to fit the body. So it would take a lot of work to use this. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would take some serious thinning. I think overall length is longer too. Yeah, it's a lot longer. So there would be some adjustments there if you really wanted to use this chassis. And it's got a pretty nice rear end in it too. Let's see, where's it at? So I can see if it's actually a Dana. Well, technically I don't think they had the Dana back then. That didn't come till later. And the roll bar. And here's the chrome from the Lindbergh kit. There's the front wheels that this particular version has, and then the mirror, some of the other parts, the grill, which is different. Some of the, one of them have, I think it's the Maverick doesn't have the inner headlights, but here's the carburetors, and here's the velocity stacks instead of the air cleaners. So you've got those in there as well from the donor. and a few other parts. I believe that's a set of gauges that goes under the dash. But you know, this is one that I don't know when I'll actually build it, but when I do, it's going to be a max wedge. That was my plan all along. But I had picked this one up, and I've had it a while. But if you're interested, check with MCW on availability and current pricing and everything. But I like it. It's a pretty good kit. I still need to build it. I got a ways to go, but this one's just not hot on my list. I just had to have it and buy it. But like many of you, have got tons of projects. Just bought them up, piled them up, and kind of glad I did when I did, because things just seem to keep going up. And when it comes to resin, what's available one day may not be available the next day. So you know, I just buy them up when I can, and whether I build them right away or they sit. But I just wanted to share this one and show it to you guys. Special request from Gary. So here you go, Gary. Nah, 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 nah. No, I'm kidding. I mean that in all fun. So, but if you pick one up, get one. I like it. I don't know how the fitting and everything is. A little bit of twist and warp on here, but it's pretty clean. I may have done some cleaning of the flash around the windows. I don't remember. Like I said, I've had this one a while. I don't know if it's approaching 10 years or not, but I can check. Some of my photos I've had piled around. But there you go, Gary. And thank you everybody who's watched and who is subscribing, and thank you for your support, and I appreciate you guys watching. And leave any comments you want behind, and don't be afraid to ask if I've got anything I might want to, you might want to see it. If I have it, I'm willing to share it. It may be a little while before I get to it, but I'm always willing to share. And I've got some other ideas and some other projects in the works and down the line, so I'll be sharing them with you guys and asking for your feedback and what you'd like to see and what you want to see, and we'll go from there. But just want to take a moment to thank you guys for subscribing and viewing and enjoying what I'm putting out there. So thank you, and you guys have a wonderful day.